put my mayor hat on for a while. I'm Mayor of Cynthiana. I want to welcome you to Cynthiana. It's nice to have people from outside the city come here and enjoy the things that we get to enjoy every weekend or every day. So welcome to Cynthiana. Now I'm taking that hat off and I'll put the hat on the part owner of the ROHS Opera House here. We opened it up about 10 years ago, or about 11 years ago, and then 9 years ago we decided, since there was so much activity here, paranormal activity, that we would kind of jump into that kind of area, and we started doing our Cynthiana Ghost Walk, modeling kind of after what they do in Charleston and New Orleans and all that, and it just took off. We have about 1,000 people a year come to take our Cynthiana Ghost Walk. This presentation that you're going to see is part of that Cynthiana Ghost Walk. It's the only ghost walk that I know of anywhere that actually brings you inside a haunted building. It does about a 30-minute presentation. So what we're going to do is show you some of the evidence that groups have collected over the years and turned into us. Now this isn't all of it, but it's some of the best that we have. We were featured on a TV show not too long ago called My Ghost Story. I don't think it's on anymore, but you can see the episodes on YouTube. If you look it up, just look up My Ghost Story and ROHS Opera House, and you can see our episode there. The history of the building that you're in, this part of the building here was built in 1871. It's the original opera house and meeting house of Cynthiana, Kentucky after the Civil War. It was built about 6 years after the Civil War by a group of joint stockholders that kind of got together in town and built a theater for everybody. It was a home to concerts, plays, balls, city balls, dancing, skating. Upstairs, this kind of horseshoe balcony kind of thing. That's a balcony. The third floor is actually up there. You can go up there and see a painted ceiling up there. And it looks like there used to be a big chandelier hung right here because there's a big piece of the ceiling missing. So that's what we think up there. I will warn you, if you go up there tonight, are you all going to go up there tonight, upstairs?
If we can, we are. Margaret said that we have a pretty good family of bats up there.
Yeah, there's a lot of bats up there. So if you don't like bats, stay away.
Never hear more about it.
There's a colony up there, so there's a lot of them. They never hurt you, but they certainly are scary, and they're big bats. They're about like that. This original theater here, this big block wall wasn't here. That's where the stage would have been. They closed that up in 1941 when they built the new Opera House, which is where we're currently doing plays and movies and all that. So we actually had a play tonight that some of you went to. How haunted is this building? Well, you're in the right place if you want to do a ghost hunt. Because objects move all the time. I've had stuff move while I'm doing this presentation. Just things fly off of the desk and stuff. Footsteps, you'll hear footsteps when no one's in the building. Doors open and close by themselves. Unexplained lights, shadows, apparitions. People have actually caught apparitions on photography devices and seen them with their own eyes. So, and I'll tell you some of those stories there. And you know, sometimes I'll come in the building here, and I'm not a paranormal or a ghost hunter. If I hear something, I'm gone, out the door. You all, I admire you guys for doing that. But sometimes you come in the building and it feels just like going into any normal building. But sometimes you come into this building and you just feel. I mean, it's just heavy, and you feel like there's something in here with you. And then voices. People hear them. People capture them on digital recording devices all the time. So we're going to go through some of the evidence. Some of what I'm going to talk about is personal experience. I have a couple of stories I'll share. We've got some EVPs you can listen to here. And I've got some video I'll show you, which is pretty strong video evidence. So we'll get into the confirmed entities. What we have here is the Lady of the Opera House. Some people call her the Lady in White. We try not to call her that because every haunted place has a lady in white. So we call her the Lady of the Opera House. But she's wearing a big white dress, and it looks kind of Victorian when she is seen. Long brown hair down to her shoulders. She's been seen about half a dozen times, several times on this stairway here, coming up here. She's been seen by a janitor in the in the 90s, he was down at the bottom of the steps, mopping in front of that big full-length mirror. I don't know if you all noticed that when you came in. But he looked up in the mirror, and standing on the stairs behind him was this lady in this big white dress. And so he left his mop bucket and quit that day and never came back. And that's when my friend Roger got his job, because it was a night cleanup person. He has seen her twice. He saw her in the stairway, walking up the stairway, and he saw her in the projection room, which is right down this hallway up here. Not too many years ago, the last known story I have of her being seen was actually during a play. We were doing Charlotte's Web about 4 years ago, and there was a child in the balcony, sitting in the balcony, and was just absolutely terrified and just started crying because he saw this white figure walking across the back of the balcony while everybody else was watching the play. He saw her. We had Elvis in the building one time, an Elvis impersonator, but he was getting dressed up here in the bathroom and claims that the door opened and this lady in a white dress walked in on him and then just disappeared. When she appears, she's as solid as you and I. I mean, every story we have, she's not shimmering and see-through. She is solid, and then she disappears. Another entity we have is a very angry man. No one's ever seen or got a picture of a man here, but EVPs, he'll cuss, he'll tell you to get out, turn it off, stop it, stuff like that. He's a very angry person. And then we have probably the most common thing are children. We have children entities here, at least 2, possibly more. They're captured on EVPs. A lot of people capture them on EMF devices and can actually get them to respond and answer questions to that. Now, when the angry man is around, the children are never around. And vice versa. They never come out at the same time. It's like the children are kind of scared of the angry man. And then we have a shadow man that has been captured in the back of the theater. Probably a residual. He never interacts with anybody. He just kind of goes about his business, but people will catch him. And we've got a really good video that I'll show you in a few minutes. All right, EVPs. I'm going to let you listen to a couple of EVPs that we have here. You all know what EVPs are, right? You all are professional ghost hunters, right? The child entities, we've done those here. The first 3 I'm going to play are the child entities. This first one, I believe, was captured up here on the 3rd floor. It's a small child counting 1, 2, 3. Like, you know, when kids play hide and seek, hide their eyes, what do? They count. So that's kind of what you hear here. If it plays. It helps if I hook up something. Did y'all hear? Pretty clear. This one is really super clear. This was captured down in the main theater. One of the earliest EVPs that was captured here. A group had come in, and it was one of the first groups that thought there was children entities here. And so they brought some toys, some balls and stuff and put out and started asking the ghosts to come out and play. Nobody ever came out and played. They got no EVPs except for this one. And this one says, I don't want to play. So they communicated their intentions pretty early this time. Did y'all hear it? Mm-hmm. I played it again. I don't want to play. And they didn't. There was nothing else that they got that night. This next one here was captured downstairs by the concession stand at the end of a ghost hunt one night. The groups were standing around looking at their pictures and still taking pictures of one another, thinking that maybe if something was kind of following them around, they might get an orb or something around there. Well, they didn't get any pictures, but they got this very small child's voice saying, "Are you taking a picture of me?" Did y'all hear that? It's pretty clear.
Yep.
And to me, that sounds like a very young child. Very young child. While we're talking about the children on the EVP, My experience here, one of my only experiences actually seeing something was a child. I was in here by myself one day, and I'd walk into the balcony. I forget why I was here, but all the lights were on, the theater was all lit up. I walked into the balcony, and down by the stage was this little boy about this tall. 5, 6 years old, about that height. And as soon as I walked in the balcony, he ran off to the side. We have curtains there by the exit doors. And he ran through those curtains and disappeared. But the curtains never moved and they were closed. So that's why I knew it wasn't a real child, because the curtains would have parted. So that's my experience with a child. Now, I've been doing these ghost walks, this presentation, for several years. And I have 6 grandkids now. 2 of them have had experiences in here. About 2 years ago, my second grandchild she was about 3. She was up here, and she was helping me set up here. And she came up to me. She had been over there playing. She came up to me and said, "That little girl over there wants me to play with her." Now, we had had a similar experience during a ghost walk presentation where someone had taken the ghost walk and was sitting there with their child, and their child kept going over there and going over there and going over there, and the mom kept going over there and getting the child over there by that door. And they said that there was somebody over there that wanted them to play with them. Well, my granddaughter had that same experience at about 3 years old, so I just grabbed her and we left. So no playing with ghosts. They may come home with you. And my grandson had a similar experience. Down in the theater, he'd come in. He was real little too, about 4 or 5 years old, and was sitting in there. We were waiting for a movie. There were other people in the theater, and he turned to me and said, "Can I go down and play by the stage?" I said, "No, we're getting ready to start a movie. You can't go and play." And he said, "But that little boy keeps coming up here and wanting me to come play with him." And I'm looking around. There's no boy in the theater. So other children have said very similar things, that the kids will come out and want to play. And young children can see these ghosts.
James, we had a question before you came up. They were wondering, we were telling them a little bit about that kind of thing, and they were asking why do you think the children are attached to you?
We have no idea why any of these entities are here. The lady in white, we have no story about it. Some really, really old timers will claim that one of the founders here, Carl, not the old man Ross, H.A., but Carl Ross, committed suicide here. They say he hung himself on his balcony. There's no evidence of that. You would think that would have been in the papers at the time. And we have his death certificate that says he died at Fort Campbell. He committed suicide at Fort Campbell. But a lot of people say the lady in white looks like his wife. And we don't know. I've never seen a picture or anything like that. We have no idea why the children are here, whether it's just because there's just a lot of happy energy here, good strong energy from people having a good time, watching movies and stuff, but that's it. We don't know what was out back here, houses and stuff. We don't know if someone died prior to that being a theater or anything like that. This whole block was burned down in the Civil War. We have no idea, if something happened during the battle, the Second Battle of Cynthiana, and people. We just don't know. I wish I had a good story to tell. So.
Thank you.
Down here, the picture on the left is from upstairs. You can see the old balcony seating. It's just kind of bench seating up there. This picture over here on the right is of the basement that's under this part of the building. And so I've got a couple of EVPs that was captured there. This first one was actually captured down in the basement. A lady had went down there by herself. Doing some EVP work, and she thought she heard someone come down into the basement. And so she says, "Who's in the basement?" But nobody had gone down there. She was still down there by herself, but she thought this was an EVP.
Who's in the basement?
is another one that was captured in the area. I don't think they were all the way down in the basement, but they may have been in the concession stand area. And I forget what the ghost hunter says, but the response is, "Tell her to shut up." That was pretty clear. These are pretty clear. These are some of the clearer ones that we have. All right, let me see. All right, this is an EVP that a group called, they're from Arkansas. They travel all the way up here about once a year to hunt here. That's a long way to travel. So, but they caught this, and it's a whistling EVP. And whistling is something that we capture a lot in this building, and not just capture on devices, but we hear it with our ears. I've heard it in here before, in the hallway. Usually it's not a whole tune, but sometimes you get that. Usually it's just short bursts of whistling. And you're going to hear that. This group, you're actually going to hear the Paranormal Investigating team. They hear it too. So they stop and say, "Did you hear that? Who did that?" All that stuff.
Who was that? I don't know if the recorder or where's the recorder? Oh, it's on. I thought that was you. That was you.
Have you all heard that before? And that's usually what it is. It's usually those short bursts. But we have got EVPs where they're actually whistling a tune. So this is one that there's a group that comes here called I Hunt Ghosts. They come here fairly frequently. I think it's Wes Forsyth, I think is his name. But they were set out here, and so this is going to be a video that you're actually going to see. They're set out here with the ghost box in the hallway here. And for some reason, they thought that one of the girls' ghosts here was named Loretta. So they're trying to get Loretta to say her name. Now, if you listen closely, when they say, "I want to hear Loretta say her name," the camera actually picks up an entity saying Loretta. It's very, very clear.
I want to verify that I know your all's names. I want to hear Loretta say her name.
Did y'all hear it? So y'all can try that name out tonight while you are. I'm not sure what this is. This is it's a device that you're going to see that measures change in temperature, EMF, and vibrations. Okay, it was set up in this room, probably right around this area here, with a camera focused on it. And what you're going to hear is you're going to see the temperature start to drop really rapidly. You're going to see the EMF meters going off really, really quickly, and the vibration. Like all three of those register something at the same time. And then they all kind of stop, and you hear giggling, children giggling. It's like they're playing with the device. Yeah, there's several bits of evidence in that one little piece. This is some visual evidence and pictures and stuff. This one here is one of the first pictures we took here way back when camera didn't take very good pictures about 11 years ago. Very, very grainy. The lights are on. We weren't hunting ghosts or anything. But we captured something here, and there's a lot of dust orbs and stuff and reflections off the crime room window glass back there. But look up in the top right-hand corner. That wasn't up there. We didn't see that with our eyes. There was something standing up there. If you zoom in on it, you know, it kind of has a womanly figure, but it's just all white. Also, in this, we were showing this for years, for a couple of years, and then one time we were showing it, somebody said, well, what about the guy in the tuxedo on the 4th row? We had never seen that before, but there's a guy, you can see him really clearly. It's kind of grainy when it's blown up like this, but there's something sitting there. That little white thing beside it is like a jacket or something, but that, it looks like we caught two entities in one picture here. This is some kind of a mist. Roger caught this down at the very bottom of the steps, and what he says is that it was summer, and if you're in here, you know that this part of the building has no air conditioning, and he felt a cool breeze coming down the stairway. That's very unusual here. So he took a picture with his cell phone, and he caught this mist here, and if you look, you see a face in the mist, which is really, really, really odd. And then if you look down at the bottom of the steps, you can see it looks like legs. Yeah, so it was very, and again, there was nothing saw with the human eye. This is one of my favorite pictures here. This was a group took this probably about 3 years ago, although time keeps running together the more I do this. There is a EMF meter back there at the very end, back of the theater. See the red light? When that went off, it's on some kind of stand, it went off, they took a picture of it. They caught something. You can see back there at the women's restroom door. There was something standing back there at the door, looking over. That wall is about this tall. So whatever that is about this tall. And there was nothing back there. There was nobody sitting on that. But that's one of my favorite pictures. This one was taken right after a ghost hunt a few years ago, back in 2016. It was a ghost walk we had done. And if you come on our very last ghost walk, if you come on our 8 o'clock ghost walk, when it's over, we invite you to walk around the theater and see it. A lot of people have never been here. So there's a group went down there. You can see the lady in the black shirt sitting back there. She felt something around her at this time, and they took a picture of it. And there's some kind of a black entity sitting just 2 seats in front of her. You can see it's kind of cut off by this one seat, but it's blocking out the seat behind it. So it is sitting right there between there. We don't know what that is, but it was odd and it showed up on a couple of pictures. This was a ghost hunt group one time, not a few years ago. The lady there was sitting on the seat, and she said she heard something behind her. It sounded like somebody sat down. And so they took a picture, and there's some kind of a white object behind her a few rows back. Again, we don't know what that is, but nobody saw it. It just picked up on the camera. This is a really good video. This was picked up by that group called I Hunt Ghosts, West Forsyth. You're going to see a camera. It's a night vision camera set up in the theater downstairs, pointing towards the back. You're going to see it in the back. When it gets to 02:05:20, back here in this hallway, back here, right here, you're going to see a small child appear and run down the hallway. Okay, this, y'all believe in psychics? Okay, this little girl, she was about 14 years old, 15 years old at the time, was a psychic from Nicholasville. She's done hunts and all kinds of other stuff, but she came in, wanted to do an event here, so we let her come in, and she immediately started picking up things. She came up here in this room, said there was a man standing up here smoking a pipe, but the real powerful stuff was when she got down into the theater and she started talking about children. She said there's some children here. Now that stuff you can find out on the internet, so you know we're still skeptical at this time. But she starts telling us things from personal experience that we had in there that is not on the internet, and you just can't find out about it. And we don't even talk about it when we do ghost walk presentations. So she knew some things that nobody else knew. And so she sat down in one of the chairs, you can see her there, and she said, I'm going to try to get one of the girls here to move some of my hair. And you can see a little strand of her hair hanging over the chair there. You know, there's about 8 of us down there. I'm down there, Roger down there, Philip, the other partner, down there. One of them was videotaping this, and so she says, little girl, I want you to grab my hand, and I want you to draw energy from me and move my hair, and take it from this side of the chair all the way around to the next. And watch. Watch it move. This is a Shadow Man video. It's kind of grainy because it's so big, but you'll be able to see him. This is down in the theater. It's in the back where the restrooms are. I know some of you have already gone to the restrooms down there, so you know where they're at. This is a video on Sony night vision camera, several years old. It's about a 10-year-old camera, so they're probably a lot better now. But it's pointing back towards the men's bathroom. You're going to see Roger, my other partner, come by. He's the partner that really likes this stuff and actually comes and hunts these things. He's going to come by late at night. He says that nothing happened on this ghost hunt. They got nothing. And so they were all up here, and he said, well, I'm going to go one more time. I'm going to walk through the theater and do some EMF work. So he's walking by there. He's doing EMF, and he's reading off his meter. He gets a text. You can hear him get a text. His phone goes, bzz, bzz. And about that time, something comes out of the wall and walks across. It's just a shadow figure. That's why we call him the Shadow Man. He just walks across and disappears through this half wall.
If you can give me a sign that you're here, I appreciate it. It's been a pretty slow night.
That's Roger. Let's start there.
Reading about 1.5, 25, not much. 1.5, 1.5, 2.1.
By your reaction, I say you saw it, right? You can see he's looking around he got a spike. You probably didn't hear him, but he got a spike up to like a 6.1 on his EMF scale, and then it went back down. And so he started shining his flashlight around, looking for an electrical outlet or something that would have caused the spike. And so and he didn't saw anything. He just saw the Shadow Man. So I think that's it. We're starting Ghost Walks next week if you want to get the full.
It's amazing. Ghost Walks tell a lot of history, and it's wonderful. I would go if you guys want.
Any questions while I'm here?